1. We are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, really do appreciate you hanging out with me. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. The Lakers are right back to being the Lakers. Right? I mean, this is why the last two games, I couldn't get excited. This is why the last two games, I kept coming on here, and I was like, I really want to say, like, the Lakers are back, baby, let's go. But I couldn't get there because you knew how long is this going to last, right? Lakers get back to 500, immediately drop it. And it's just, I don't get it. I mean, this team, and it's not even that they're just like losing games, right? Like every game they lose, they get like blown out. Like they're not even in games. It's crazy to me. It's crazy that they just end up getting destroyed in almost every game that they lose. It's just like they're not even close. And I mean, this game started off great, right? It looked good. It started off well, and then it just kind of fell apart, right? So I don't know. It's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating because I really wanted to see the Lakers pull this out. I really wanted to see the Lakers kind of right the ship, but I couldn't get there. The last two games, I kept saying, like, I want to get there. I want to say Lakers are back. I want to say Lakers are going to get it done. I want to say, all the things that, I want to be optimistic about this team. But like I said, we have enough of a sample size to know that this is the real team. That this is the team that we should expect. And that's my problem. That's my concern. That's why I think the Lakers need a trade sooner rather than later. I don't think the Lakers can mess around. I don't think the Lakers can play around, right? I think that they need to get whatever they can get as soon as they can get it, right? Sooner rather than later. It's just I just don't trust that they're going to be able to stay afloat between now and the trade deadline. And the Lakers were finally starting to gain some traction, right? The Suns won today, so that was good in our race up the standing. And the Lakers they can't consistently play to the level that we need them to play. They just can't. They're just not good enough. It sucks to say. I hate to say it, but that's the reality. The Lakers just aren't good enough, and that's just the truth. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is besides trades, right? This team has shown us who they are. They're not going to all of a sudden magically just turn it around and the Lakers are back, baby, right? It's just I can't get behind this team fully. It's not even that they're just losing games. They get smacked every time they lose. Every time they lose a game, they get smacked. It's just like, come on, man. Like, at least it was competitive, and it's just like, man, like if they could just kind of, but no, it's like the Lakers they're just not a good basketball team right now. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we get something done sooner rather than later. I don't know why Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura are untradeable. Well, again, I like the guys. I like both of them. But this year, and we're trying to win now, right? If we're not trying to win now, then trade everybody. Get rid of everything. Rebuild. But if we're trying to win now, there shouldn't be anybody not on the trade block unless your name is LeBron James or Anthony Davis. This entire roster should be available for trades right now. This entire roster just isn't good enough. And if you could flip Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, plus whatever else, and a DeJounte Murray, a Clint Capella, whatever, then do it. Look, I love those guys. I would love for Rui to be a lifetime Laker. I'd love for Reeves to be a lifetime Laker. But I want the Lakers to win more than I care whether they're on our roster or not. I do. I care about the Lakers winning games and being a good basketball team. And if you have to trade those two guys who just haven't been what they were last year, then trade those two guys. D'Angelo Russell shows up. He continues to show up. And he still doesn't get favored over Austin Reeves. D'Lo's been absolutely killing it the last handful and a half of games. And he still can't get the nod over Reeves, who just has been bad. He can't shoot this year. I've said it all season. And all these people just keep trying to defend it. Oh, he can't shoot this year. I don't know what to tell you. He has his game. He has a stretch, but he can't consistently shoot this year. And you're going to trade the one guy that can. D'Lo's the only guy that's consistently been able to shoot the ball this season. And you're going to trade him over the guy that can and the guy that just keeps getting exposed on the defensive side of things. Again, he just got butchered every single play. Austin Reeves is in the game? All right. Cam Thomas, let's go to work. Lonnie Walker, let's go to work. Royce O'Neal, let's go to work. Like all of them, every single one of them, just targeted Reeves, and boom, just went after him. And it's just like, how much do you need to see before it's like, okay, look, I love Austin Reeves. Long term, maybe he makes sense, but we're not in the long term. If we're in the long term, then look to trade LeBron. Can't trade AD this season, so trade him next season. Blow it up, right? If you're not really serious about trying to win. If you're serious about trying to win, Austin Reeves should be on the table. He's the most valuable asset, even with the way he's playing right now. Teams believe that he's going to turn around. Sell high. Why are you going to sell low? What's going to happen is maybe this is who he really is, right? And if this is who he really is, eventually there's going to come a point in time where teams aren't interested in him anymore because they're going to go, he's an average role player. He's not the guy we thought he was, right? So sell high on Austin Reeves while you can. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, let's dive into the box scores. I'm sure many of you have questions and stuff that I'll be able to continue my rant on. Real quick, hit that like button. We got 250 of you. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the box scores, and then we'll jump into all of your super chats and the chat itself. So send them in, and I will answer them in a moment. But diving into it, Taurean Prince, I mean, he did what he does, right? 3-7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, right? Serviceable, quality role player. We shouldn't be expecting 30 points a game from him. I like what he's been producing this season, but he's not supposed to be our 4th most consistent player this year, right? That's just not how it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, it just seems to be the case. LeBron James, 24 points, 5 assists, 11 rebounds. He had a solid game. Anthony Davis, solid game. 26, 12, 6 assists. He continues his playmaking. 3 steals, 2 blocks. He did his part. Austin Reeves, 2 of 12 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. Keep telling you, he can't shoot this year. He's a liability on the defensive end, and he's might be our worst shooter. I mean, even Jared Vanderbilt went 2 of 2 from 3 today. Austin Reeves can't shoot this season. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's tired legs because of playing all the way to the conference finals and then immediately jumping into Team USA. I don't know. But he can't shoot the 3 ball this year. He can't. And he has to work twice as hard for his offense. Teams know his game now, so teams have adjusted, and teams are targeting him. D'Lo's not the one that's being targeted by assignment. It is Austin Reeves who's getting targeted by assignment. Right? And you want to trade the one guy that can shoot. Once again, D'Angelo Russell, 3 of 5 from 3, 60%, 20 points, 7 assists. The guy's giving you 20 and 7 a game, and you want to trade him over Austin Reeves. It's just, I don't get it. Now, look, if you trade for DeJounte Murray, you probably have to trade D'Angelo Russell. But here's the thing. The Atlanta Hawks, they want Austin Reeves. Right? Can you convince them instead of giving up a first to take Austin Reeves? And then now you'd have D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, and a first to go get other pieces. Maybe go get that shooting. Maybe go get the other complementary pieces. I mean, it's just a thought. But, I mean, look, the Lakers need a trade. Again, this game is a prime example of why I couldn't get overly excited. And while I kept saying, I got to wait and see. And why I kept saying the Lakers still need a trade. They do. They need a trade. But Jared Vanderbilt, 5 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. Excellent. 5 rebounds, 12 points. He did his job. Max Christie, limited minutes, 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 6 points. And then Christian Wood, he had his struggles. He had his rough game. 6 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, though. But I'm not going to get on him too much. He's been consistent, and he's not supposed to be one of our top guys. He's just supposed to be a guy on this roster. But anyway, like I said, let's jump into your super chats, and then we'll jump into the regular chat, and then all that jazz. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the likes up. Appreciate you guys. Kevin, coming in hot, the $5 super chat, starting us off right. I appreciate you. Here are the real Lakers again. Exactly why I titled this the way I titled it. Ridiculous how we beat 2 top Western teams, then lose to the Nets. Exactly. I mean, but it's a perfect example of the Lakers. It's a perfect example. I mean, this is who the Lakers are this year. And it's just, it's frustrating. It really is. It's infuriating that the Lakers can't consistently provide quality game. They can't string together. They can they can compete with the best teams, but they can't consistently put it together. They can do it for a game. They can do it for a small stretch. But, all of a sudden you play a desperate team. They match your energy. I mean, the Lakers dominated the first half, and they were up what, like 5? I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. I was like, that's probably a direction for disaster. But it's frustrating, Kevin. I'm with you. But these are the Lakers. Christian, coming out with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, let me vent. Why are we defending Austin Reeves? Like, he's T-Mac in his prime. Trade him, get Murray and stuff from Atlanta. One of the reasons I watch you is because you are honest. Trevor Lane never calls out Reeves. I'm sick of it. Well, not going to speak on Lakers Nation and, Trevor Lane and stuff like that. But myself, I can only speak for myself. So, look, we are a team that needs to win now, right? We are if we were a rebuilding team, or if LeBron was showing some real decline or whatever, I'd say, you know what? Like, let's chalk it up. Let's go into the offseason. We'll have 3 first-round picks, or potentially 3 first-round picks in the offseason. Maybe we can turn something around. If LeBron wants to leave, let him leave. Free up some cap space. All is right in the world. But that's not the position we're in. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are playing the best basketball we've seen them play in years, and they have no help besides D'Angelo Russell on a regular basis. It's just, I don't understand why the Lakers are so adamant about keeping Austin Reeves. Again, I like Austin Reeves. I do. I would love to see him retire a Laker, but I want the Lakers to be good more than I want Austin Reeves on the Lakers. Players come and go, right? I want championships. And if we have to trade Austin Reeves to put us in the contention conversation, then we got to trade Austin Reeves to put us in the contention conversation, right? Like, I understand that, Austin Reeves is beloved, but he doesn't have it this year. And if he goes and turns around and becomes a star, you live with it, right? It is what it is. If in the next 3 years, but I think he's closer to his ceiling than he is, I think he's closer to his ceiling than he is his floor. Right? I don't see Austin Reeves just magically becoming this like third star, right? D'Lo is clearly the better of the two. And you want to trade the better of the two. And I understand you have concerns about D'Lo, not you specifically, Christian, speaking generally. I understand that you have concerns that D'Lo may leave in the offseason. If you get DeJounte Murray, then you should trade D'Lo regardless. But you have a team that has a player that is a clear upgrade. Better in every way. He's shooting better. He's going to be a better defensive player. He's a better playmaker, right? Like, what is Austin Reeves good at that DeJounte Murray isn't? And you can upgrade Reeves. And it's not like DeJounte Murray's 35. He's, 27? So you'd still have DeJounte Murray for as long as you would have Austin Reeves right now. And then you're going to have to pay Austin Reeves probably a ton of money when you could just pay DeJounte Murray the same amount of money, right? So you're getting a guy that works now and the future. You probably could still keep a first-round pick because that could be your argument. Okay, we'll give you Reeves, but we're keeping our first. And now you could take D'Lo and a first and Rui and Gabe Vincent and maybe go get some other pieces. Maybe you're getting it all from Atlanta, right? Maybe you're getting a Murray, Bogdanovich, Clint Capella, and Sadiq Bey. And you're giving up the first, the pick swap. You're giving up D'Lo, Rui, Gabe, and Austin, right? But now you got your shooter to pair along with Taurean Prince shooting. You got your 3-and-D playmaking point guard. You got another center, and you got a 3-and-D, although he can be inconsistent in Sadiq Bey, but he's on a small contract. He's 24 years old. When he's on, right? Sadiq Bey is a guy that when he's on, he can go drop 40, right? But again, it gives you he's still an upgrade over Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish on the offensive side, right? To me, fine, go do that, right? And I don't understand it. I don't get why the Lakers are so. And look, maybe it's a negotiation tactic, as I mentioned. Maybe it's just negotiation, right? You don't want to show your cards, right? You want to raise the value. You want Austin Reeves badly. Well, we don't want to trade him. Sorry, hate to break it to you. But then, it's like, okay, well, what do we have to do to get Austin Reeves? It's like, sorry, man, nothing. Well, what if you can keep a first, right? What if you just give us Reeves and we'll give you, Murray and you give us a pick swap, right? Now it's like, okay, well, let's push it and see how much farther we can get, right? Yeah, what if we give you somebody else, right? What if we do take D'Lo now and you don't have to go find a third team? And we give you a Bogdanovich. We give you a thing, whatever, right? Maybe that's the tactic. Maybe that's the goal. I hope it is. But there's no reason D'Lo should be on the trade block over Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura at this point. We've seen enough sample size. We're not 10 games into it where it's like, okay, well, maybe Austin Reeves. No, I mean, he is who he is this year, right? So do what you need to do to get it done. And again, I'm not going to speak for Trevor Lane or anything like that, but you also got to keep in mind, one, this channel, it's just me, because I do see a lot of comments that are like, well, Trevor Lane, and to defend him a bit, one, this channel is just me. I don't have a company. I don't have any people that are like, hey, you can't speak a certain way, or you can't say a certain thing, or you can't do. It's just me, just a fan. So I can say whatever I want. I can pretty much do whatever I want, within YouTube's guidelines, right? So I don't have that hindrance. And I'm not saying Trevor does. I don't know. But also, Trevor's had Austin Reeves on his channel numerous times, right? So, he has a vested interest. Where me, look, I love Austin Reeves. I would love to have him on the channel. But even if he was on the channel, just me and my personality, again, I love Austin Reeves, but if you got to go, you got to go, man. I'm not even my friends, you could be my best friend. If you're messing up and you deserve criticism, you deserve criticism. Same thing with me. If I'm messing up and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, bring on the criticism. Austin Reeves isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. He just isn't. So again, kind of defend him a little bit, but like I said, I can't speak for another channel. I can only hold myself accountable, but appreciate you. Lewis coming out with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Did you see the LaVine is injured again for 2 weeks? Yeah, I watched the game and I watched where he rolled his ankle. That was tough. I'm leaning towards the Lakers are probably not going to go trade for Zach LaVine, to be honest. This is now the second injury in the last month. And he's missing all this ample time. Now, you could make the argument how much of it is just they don't want him to get hurt because they're trying to trade him for the trade deadline. He comes back right around the trade deadline. So maybe that's kind of their play. And they're just like, hey, we don't really need you. We're winning without you. We want to get rid of you. You want to go. So we're not going to, whatever. Maybe that's the case. But even then, it's looking more and more unlikely that the Lakers are going to trade for Zach LaVine. I just don't see it. Now, maybe, there's always the possibility, but my guess at this point, just based on what we've seen and the information we have, I think the Lakers are going to make that push for DeJounte Murray and whatever else. And I could see them getting other pieces. Excuse me. Andrew coming out the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Mother was talking about Tyus Jones, no Zach LaVine. Look, I mean, it's very possible that again, I'm leaning more and more towards the Lakers aren't going to trade for Zach LaVine. However, maybe that's the play. Maybe they do go get Zach LaVine and then they go get a guy like Tyus Jones, where it's like Tyus Jones, like, where DeJounte Murray, you want to have the ball in his hands as much as possible, where Tyus Jones, he's shooting so well, he can play off ball, right? Kind of give you that upgrade defensively. And he's cheap, right? He's only making like, what, 13, 14 million? So maybe that's the Lakers' plan. But I think what's going to end up happening is I think the Lakers are going to get the DeJounte Murray trade done. The thing that's frustrating is we could have it done already if we just traded Austin Reeves. And one of the things that frustrates me, and one of the arguments to get it done now, right? Well, assuming again, we're going off of rumors and reports. So let me clarify, right? We don't know for certain that it could get done today if they trade Austin Reeves. But based on the word, based on the reports, if the Lakers offered Austin Reeves right now, the Lakers could land DeJounte Murray. So if that's the case, to me, do that tomorrow. Call them and say, hey, we'll trade you Austin Reeves, give us DeJounte Murray, right? Trade whatever you have to, because a couple things. One, that now gives you extra time, because my concern with DeJounte Murray is the fit, right? Is LeBron, although he's playing more off ball the last few games, is he really going to stay that way, right? And can he continue, not LeBron, but DeJounte, can he continue to shoot the three ball the way he's shooting it? Can he pick up defensively? All of those things. My thing is, like, if you get it done now, you get an extra like 2.5 weeks of just chemistry building and development and everything else, right? You get time to kind of figure it out, right? And it gives you time now to figure out what other pieces do you need, right? Does D'Lo and DeJounte Murray work well together, right? Maybe D'Lo plays off ball and he's working great, right? Maybe you are able to shift D'Lo to the 2 and he doesn't have to focus on the playmaking and he can just shoot the basketball. And it's like, okay, well, we still have a first. Let's go take Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura. Maybe we keep D'Lo and see if we can go do something else, right? I don't know. Again, it's just, it gives you opportunity to find and figure other things out. So to me, if you can get it done right now, get it done right now. Why are we going to wait and just keep digging a deeper hole? Is my point. But I don't know. Time will tell. It's frustrating. Lord of the Skies. Go to sleep, bro. It's not worth it. I know I probably should have slept through the game and then just did the post-game stream. No, I mean, I like the doing the post-game streams. I love these. This is like my favorite. Whether we win or lose, I do. Because I genuinely enjoy just having these conversations, whether we agree, disagree, however we feel about it. If we're in the same park or not. I enjoy just having good conversation. It's my thing. I do. I genuinely love it. And it gives me an opportunity to vent, right? It gives me a place to like let out my frustrations and complain, right? So I appreciate you. Dustin, coming out with the $5 super chat. Darvin Ham's coaching is equivalent of Carl Lewis singing the national anthem. That was good. Yeah, he was terrible today, which is frustrating too, because he was actually good the last few games. And it was like Darvin Ham is coaching well, Lakers are playing well. Maybe this is the turnaround. And it's just like, nope. Right back to old habits from the Lakers and the players, and right back to old habits from Darvin Ham. One thing I will say is at least he's like continued to keep the rotation down and shorten, but it's just so frustrating, man. Like, it's frustrating just watching this team. Because again, like I said last season, right? Or about last season. At least last season, we knew the team was terrible. We knew we were undersized. And the Lakers, there was never a question about the effort from that team. They were in almost every game last year. They just couldn't close. Or you'd have like a silly Westbrook turnover. And LeBron wasn't playing as well as he is right now, right? Like, there was several, and AD wasn't as good as he was last season, right? Like, there were several factors as to why it was like, okay, like it makes sense why we're bad. This team makes zero sense why we were so bad. I mean, we have size, we have versatility, we have shooting, we have scoring, we have playmaking, we have two superstars playing the best they've played in years, and we can't beat anybody or on a consistent basis. It's just, it's mind blowing. It is very mind blowing. 7A Sports coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. AR D'Lo first, Rui JHS for Murray, Capella, Bruce Brown. So it basically have to be a 3-team deal to go get Bruce Brown. My problem, like, I like Bruce Brown as a player. I would rather go get, like, because he's making like 22 million, something like that. Isn't he making like 22 million, something like that? Like, I like Bruce Brown as a player, and he'd be nice as like a secondary player. But like for that price, we could probably go get like 2 guys. Like, I would rather, for the price of Bruce Brown, you could go get Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, I'd rather have both of those guys than Bruce Brown if you have DeJounte Murray and everything else, right? And then hopefully you hope that like Chris Paul gets bought out in the buyout market. That, or I almost would rather have Terry Rozier. Imagine Terry Rozier off the bench. Or like DeJounte Murray. Imagine DeJounte Murray, Terry Rozier, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Like, I'd rather have that than Bruce Brown. Like, I like Bruce Brown as a player. I just think he's like getting paid double what he's worth. And, you know, now you're going to end up not extending him or not giving him a new contract next year, or not giving him a new contract, but you're going to decline his option next year. And then you're going to try to sign him a new contract. I don't know. I would rather either get multiple pieces or go get a guy and like I said, like go get me like a Terry Rozier or something. I just think he'd be a better fit, right? I get Bruce Brown as defense. His shooting is kind of rough, but he can go get buckets. You know, he shows up in the playoffs. He's not afraid of the moment. So I wouldn't hate it if the Lakers got Bruce Brown. I just don't think I don't think he's worth anywhere near his price, right? Like, he's just like double what he should be worth. Right? Maybe not double. Like, he's probably like a 15 million a year guy, but you know, that extra 7 million could get you another piece. Yeah. But appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the normal chat and till I get some more super chats, and then we'll catch up on the super chats. And bear with me a second. Let me get back to the top. Does it refresh? Give me a second. Ain't tight. Wow, a lot of comments. I love it. I love it. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Come on. There's a lot. It, of course, started me all the way to the bottom. Here we go. All right, we are here. Okay. Fire him. Again, they're not going to fire him this year. If the Lakers underwhelm this season, then I could see him in the offseason. Bad game for AR Rui. D'Lo already doing his part. AR and Rui is on the trade block. I think they should be. Again, no one on this roster should be untradeable. Nobody. No one has played good enough this entire season to not be worthy of trading. Right? Like, go if again, you don't just trade people just to trade people. I'm not saying you just basically give guys away, but if you can get a clear up, Austin Reeves is not better than DeJounte Murray. Even with the concerns of fit and everything else, he's not better than DeJounte Murray. Go get DeJounte Murray. Right? And that guy's out here hitting game winners every game. Right? Like, go get DeJounte Murray. Trade Austin Reeves and get DeJounte Murray. He just doesn't have it this year. It's unfortunate. Andrew, I feel it. These players are just so mid. Yeah, it's facts. Trade everyone. I'm with you. Zach LaVine, so Lakers got to be a must after this. We need a high level 3 level scorer with LaVine. AR can get his 15 a game on the bench. Yeah, look, at this point, get something. We got to do something. Not again as dead. I know we do suck. This is a great way to put it. We suck. Trade Rui and AR ASAP. Austin Reeves is untouchable. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Nobody should be untradeable on this roster. No one on this roster is good enough. We're back to losing. Yes, absolutely. The Lakers got a problem. They play down or up teams that they play that, which is a big problem. big problem. This team is so sad. I am right there with you. They are very sad. It's so frustrating at this point. It really is. Let's see. Failing for wins, yeah. Ham, it's terrible. What do you think is the bigger problem right now? The player's effort or Ham's coach? The player's effort, right? Look, Darvin Ham has not been good by any stretch of the imagination. Don't get me wrong, but the players are the ones that are still out there playing games. You know, when you're getting beat, you're not hitting shots, you're turning the ball over. Like the players still have to play a game, right? And I understand Darvin Ham's kind of like the scapegoat, and you know, in many ways, rightfully so. But the players just—they're not good. The players, no one's been good, right? It's not like the team it looks good and Darvin Ham just keeps sabotaging stuff, right? It's not like Austin Reeves is cooking every game and it's like Darvin Ham's playing him 10 minutes. It's like no, like he probably should be playing Austin Reeves 10 minutes. It's just you got these players that just they're not performing the way that they should, and it's frustrating. What's going on, Jake? Appreciate you being here. Darvin's game. It's time to trade Reeves and Rui. Agreed. Everyone should be available for trade. 80 only got 5 shots the whole second half, and so did D'Lo, which is crazy to me. Tired of this. I feel it. The sooner the trade happens, the better. I'm right there with you. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you being here. If I was at this game, this entire food trade and beer would have been tossed in the court. The next SGA got cooked by Cam Thomas. Lonnie Walker's revenge game. Yep. Meanwhile, Murray's hitting game wood. Yeah, I was just saying that in back-to-back games. Yep. Rui and Wood were terrible. Yeah. Austin Reeves was terrible too. How can the first half be so good and the second half just look like a whole different game? This is why we need to trade. Yep, exactly. I mean, this has been the Lakers' story all season. They're terrible in the first half, great in the second, or they're terrible in the second half, great in the first. They're consistently inconsistent. That's what they are. I keep giving Ham the benefit of the doubt, but man is cutting it short. Agreed. Darvin Ham has been rough this year. D'Lo did his part. Facts. No trade is fixing this. Don't underestimate the power of the trade, right? If you get one guy, yes, it's not fixing, right? Like if they just trade for DeJounte Murray, they're probably not turning it around, fixing it. But like you get like 2, 3, 4 guys. Again, don't underestimate the power of a trade, right? Same thing as last season. You saw it last year, right? Lakers got several new guys. Boom, they come in and completely change the landscape of Lakers because they're not dealing with the frustrations. They're not dealing with the locker room troubles. They're not dealing with our media just bashing the team or fans or anything like that. They're not dealing with all the noise. They're coming in fresh, energized, ready to prove themselves, ready for the opportunity, excited to be a Laker, right? Like, don't underestimate the value that you get a couple pieces can completely change the landscape, right? You get a couple guys, and all of a sudden, everyone starts playing together because it's contagious. When you're talking about sports, energy, effort, shooting, right? Like you see games, and it's like everybody can't miss. Like look at this game, like everybody was just lighting us up because shooting can be contagious, right? Very rarely do you see a game where like one guy is just lights out and the rest of the team is terrible. It's usually like one guy is lights out and everyone else is just really good because, again, it can be contagious. Don't underestimate the power of just adding new pieces and new players. It can change a lot, believe me. Andrew, coming out to $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I still think it's going to be Zach Caruso, Andre, and Craig. I would love it. Look, I would absolutely love it. Give me that. I'm with it. But I think with Zach LaVine now having 2 injuries in the last month, I just don't see the Lakers taking the risk. I just don't anymore. Right? I think if he came back, he was healthy. The Lakers would have been patient and kind of watched him and see how does he look. And I think if he was playing how he was playing before the injury, I think the Lakers would have may have went and did it. But I think now Zach LaVine's going to be hurt or he's going to be out till basically the trade deadline. I don't think the Lakers are going to invest the money into him anymore. I really don't. I'm team Zach LaVine. I've been team Zach LaVine from the beginning. I'm right there with you, Andrew. And I would love it. Get me LaVine, Caruso, Drummond, and Craig, and let's go. Let's go get this chip. But I just think at this point, I don't think I think the Lakers are going to get DeJounte Murray. I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll work it out. You're seeing more and more teams starting to pull out of DeJounte Murray. I know the Milwaukee Bucks all of a sudden want DeJounte Murray. That makes zero sense to me. And on top of that, like, who are they trading? Were they going to trade Chris Middleton? I don't see that. I don't. But, time will tell. But look, as much as I would love Zach LaVine, I think the Lakers are going to avoid it. I just think they already have their trepidations about it. I think they're going to I think it got worse now that he got hurt. Y'all don't want to see that LeBron took the ball away from D'Lo and AD. The Lakers can't afford to wait because they got a tough schedule. Agreed, which is my concern. My concern is that by the time we do a trade, come the trade deadline, it's going to be too late. That's genuinely my concern. Didn't see the game. Don't tell me they lost to Brooklyn. They absolutely lost to Brooklyn. A team that's won one of the last 10 games. No, we can't play around. No, we played around enough. Only point production was from Bron, AD, and D'Lo. Exactly. Got to get something done ASAP. Rui Wood AR equals 9 points tonight, which is terrible. I don't usually hate on LeBron, but he was terrible. I wouldn't say terrible, but he wasn't great. He had his rough patches for sure. Trades can fix effort, can't fix effort. Again, you'd be surprised, right? Because again, lack of effort is contagious, just like full effort is contagious. Now, again, like you go get 3-4 guys that come in and they are just boom, energized, right? And then you add in, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to show up. Jared Vanderbilt's going to show up. So let's say you get 3 guys, right? And then you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt showing up every game, right? And doing what they're supposed to do. There's 6 guys showing up. You're only going to play another 2 or 3. So you're just process of elimination, you're going to be better and you're going to give more effort, right? So I think they'll be fine. Warriors equal Lakers, yeah, this year. We got a coach problem. I mean, we have a lot of problems. Coaching is definitely one of them. Missed layups, turnovers. Yep. Doesn't matter if we make a trade. If your team culture is bad, then you'll get the same results. I signed some vets. They good purpose, effort, mind for 1/2. LeBron stopped AD and D'Lo. Ham running drop coverage all third quarter is why we lost. Yeah, that doesn't help either. And I don't know why we keep double teaming. Again, Darvin Ham's running Milwaukee Bucks' defense, and I understand that won a championship, but it was completely different. I mean, you're talking like, what, 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, something like that? Like, going on 4 years? The league there's too many good shooters. All the teams have good shooters. You can't. The defense that Darvin Ham is running this year, it's not working. It's not working anymore. It's frustrating. It really is. Let's catch up on super chats, which I appreciate. Bobby, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Lakers consistent at being inconsistent. Yep, it's my favorite phrase to say about it. It's crazy. It really is. It is frustrating. Chris Haynes, always been wrong. Don't trust him. Again, thank you again for the other super chat. Look, there's very few people in the league that are right about the Lakers, right? I mean, even Woj has been wrong about the Lakers a lot. Right? He's more trustworthy. He's more on par. But, like we're seeing a lot of these reports. Like, do I think it's very unlikely the Lakers trade for Zach LaVine? Absolutely. Especially now, absolutely. But, like, again, if a good deal's there, Rob Pelinka's gonna take it. If they can get LaVine, Caruso, and Andre Drummond and Torrey Craig for the price that it would cost to just get DeJounte Murray, then I think that they could do that. I'm not talking about trading salaries stuff. I'm talking about, like, if you have to give up a first and a pick swap or whatever, but just to get DeJounte Murray, but you could basically rehaul the roster and still go get that other star, then I could see something like that happening. But I think what's ultimately going to happen, again, I could be wrong. I'm just guessing. I think ultimately the Lakers will pull off some variation of a Hawks deal. I really don't think it's going to be just DeJounte Murray, though. I think what will end up happening is it'll be DeJounte Murray and other pieces. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's several. Right? I'm pretty confident the Lakers can get Saddiq Bey just for the sake of getting Saddiq Bey because they're not going to re-sign him. Right? I believe he goes into restricted free agency next season, if I'm not mistaken. So, they're not going to re-sign him. So, I'm pretty sure that they're would be more than happy to just let him go. So you at bare minimum, you're going to get Saddiq Bey and DeJounte Murray, I think. But I think the Lakers at least get one, if not two more guys. Especially if the reports are true that Atlanta wants to essentially clear their books. The Lakers could do that. The Lakers could go get Bogdanovich, doesn't he have like 3 or 4 years left on his deal? They could go get Clint Capella, who has 2 more years, and then they could go get DeJounte Murray, who his extension doesn't kick in until next season. Boom. Get Saddiq Bey, throw in a first, throw in a pick swap, and then you're off to the races. That's what I think will ultimately happen. Whether it's a 3-team deal, 2-team deal, whatever. I think that's my guess, at least. Christian, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. D'Lo Murray backcourt thoughts. So, personally, I think if you trade for Murray, I think you should trade D'Lo because D'Lo is best with the ball in his hands. He is a point guard. He's capable of playing the 2 guard, and it would be nice to have D'Lo. But I think if D'Lo doesn't have the role that he's happy and comfortable in, I think he leaves. However, let's say that he wants to stay a Laker and he commits to being a Laker. I don't mind between that. That's kind of why I want to get Murray. I want Murray to get traded already. Go trade Reeves, go get DeJounte Murray, and whatever else, right? Keep D'Lo. If you trade Reeves, you probably could keep some of your assets, and then you'd have multiple pieces to go make other trades, right? My thinking is I could see Murray and D'Lo working pretty well. D'Lo's been solid defense. He's not great. He's not elite, but he's been good enough defensively this year. If DeJounte Murray could get back to being a good defensive player, which he hasn't really been since his Spurs days, but if he can kind of get back to that, I think you'd have a good enough defensive court. I think you'd have excellent shooting, especially if DeJounte Murray could continue to shoot 40%. You'd have D'Lo, who is 40%. You'd have DeJounte Murray, who's 40%. And then go with Jared Vanderbilt. So now you got your defender. And hopefully, again, DeJounte Murray and D'Lo can be serviceable enough. I think you'd be good defensively. I think you'd be good offensively. D'Lo, works off ball. He played off ball the last year and a half. He played off ball a lot for Minnesota also. So I could see it working genuinely. I don't know if you'd get the best version of D'Lo, because I think the best version of D'Lo is the ball in his hands. And I don't think you can run Murray at the 2 just because that's the problem with Atlanta. So I think you'd have to let Murray be the point guard. You'd basically run D'Lo as your 2 guard. You'd have LeBron, you'd have Vanderbilt, you'd have Anthony Davis. It's pretty good. But I would just have concerns about D'Lo basically moving entirely off ball. But maybe if you're just kind of hey, you have the green light, just go get buckets. Don't even worry about making plays. Obviously, if something opens up, make the play. But just go get buckets. Go give us 25 a game, right? I think D'Lo could do it. Maybe not 25, but with DeJounte, LeBron, and AD. But I think he could probably still, with DeJounte, LeBron, and AD, still go give you maybe 15 to 20. So, especially the way he's shooting right now. So I do. I like the idea. That's kind of why I want a deal to get done now, because that would give you time to kind of gauge it, see how it works. Does it work good or does it not? Is kind of my thoughts on that. But again, appreciate the super chat. Trade AR and Rui to the Bulls for LaVine. Lakers are not a contender. The last 2 games have been fool's gold. Agreed, which is why I said I just can't get excited about it, to be honest. LaVine, Caruso, Drummond, DeJounte, Bogdan, Jeremy, Grant as last resorts. Yeah, I still like the idea of LaVine. I just think with everything that's happened, I'd be a little surprised. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be a little surprised. Done with this team, man. I feel it. Reeves isn't tradable anyway. I don't know. There's a lot of teams that I think would take Reeves because I think a lot of teams would look at it as like, okay, well, he comes here, he won't be the same. Sad effort tonight, shaking my head. Yep. But in all fairness, the Nets were making some ridiculous defended shots, especially Thomas. Can we get him left mouth? Yeah, he'd be nice because he's not happy in his role. Period. Look, I think the Brooklyn Nets need to just like rebuild. To be honest, I think keep Thomas, keep Claxton, and trade everyone else because like Johnson and Bridges and all, they're all like 27. Like, and you're not going to be a contender in the next year. So my thing is like trade them, hit the rebuild button, but they're probably not going to do it. Sean Marks and Joe Tsai are probably going to do the opposite. I told you this team mid, even when we won games, holes are still there and we lose. Yep. What's going on, Lee? Appreciate you being here. We need Rui, bro. The vibes. Again, I trade Rui. I like Rui, but trade. Because Reeves and Rui Rob think that these two are the next Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, apparently. Ham is one of the worst coaches. Ham with one of the worst coaching displays I've ever seen so far for the Lakers' tenure. My God, multiple scorers on the court, yet he decides to stick with AR D'Lo at the same time. He had a very bad game in this game. Any trade are futile. I'm assuming futile because Darvin Ham is scheming to not defend the three. It's 2024 or incompetent front office yet. The defensive lineups are not working. There's no consistency. Can't afford for Rui to be playing like this. Own your minutes. I'm right there with you. They are shooting the lights out, and he decides to play zone. Please explain what we're trying to do. Your guess is good as mine. Guess as good as mine. No perimeter defense whatsoever. Yep. It's the style of defense we're playing. We're like Milwaukee did the same thing. They ran defense schemes that the entire point is to shut down the paint and to keep the paint from getting carried away, right? And prevent paint scoring. Problem is we are now in an era where every team wants to shoot 43s a game. So it doesn't work. This team is literally definition: take one step forward, take two steps back, and make a trade immediately. I'm right there with you, Big Doug. I trade Reeves for LaVine, Caruso, and Drummond, including necessary salaries needed to match. I am right there with you. I am picking up what you're putting down. You cannot protect the coach you saw tonight, Tyler. Absolutely not. He was atrocious tonight. This team is so overly confident. So overly confident. They go up 15 and stop playing. Yeah, apparently. Credit the Nets for making the adjustments. Yeah, they did their job. They showed up. They played basketball. This ain't a championship team. This game did it for me. They are not a championship team at all. The Lakers, silly week. Backcourt got cooked. Yep. Why was Darvin switching the ball screens when they were red hot and wide open again? Because Ham had them fighting through screens on most switchable screens all game long. Their defensive sets are terrible in today's NBA. Get D'Lo some help, BFX. I told you. Yeah. Trade for a heart and soul vet like Schroeder or Marcus Smart. Isn't Marcus Smart out for like 6 weeks? I'd probably stay away from that personally. Andrew, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Zach rolled his ankle and came back in the game. These are our opportunities to buy pennies on the dollar. This is how you move the needle all time low. Look, I am all for it. I really am. And I do agree that I think you could get him cheaper now because you can make the argument like, look, the dude's been hurt twice in the last month, right? Like, we're not trading you the farm to go get Zach LaVine, right? Give us Zach LaVine, give us whatever, give us Andre Drummond, give us, Torrey Craig. If you can squeeze Caruso. and then go trade Austin Reeves and whatever else to go get DeJounte Murray. Boom. Now you got DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, Andre Drummond, Torrey Craig. All your holes are filled. Boom. You're good to go. Let's do it. I am with that. I would love for that to happen. In a perfect world, that would happen. I just don't. If again, we only know what is put out there. And again, I don't believe the it's 0% and all that noise. I think that's total nonsense. But I do think it was always a bit unlikely. And I think the Lakers always had their reservations. And I think part of it is because, they put all their eggs in the Westbrook basket. And I understand that he's not the same thing. I've made the argument, I've defended it, all that stuff. But I think the Lakers do have some, again, trepidation about making that commitment. And if Zach LaVine was healthy thus far, I think the Lakers would have gotten the deal done. I do. I think that they would have pulled it out. But I think now they're probably looking at it as we're gonna have to commit $40 million in salary, and then on top of that, we're gonna have to go and potentially give up assets. And then if he gets hurt and the season's over, right? But look, if I had my way, go trade for LaVine, Drummond, Craig, and then go trade for Zach LaVine. Or not Zach LaVine, DeJounte Murray. Then you got LaVine, Murray, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. Have them figure it out. And I'd like them to get it done now. And then you'd still have Jared Vanderbilt, probably Torian Prince, Torrey Craig, Andre Drummond, Cam Reddish, and Christian Wood. Boom. You got more than enough. You got depth, you got talent, you got veteran, you got everything. Bobby, coming out, $2 super chat. Lonnie built some muscle in the offseason. Good stuff, Lonnie Walker. Yeah, Lonnie looked really good. He's been very good for them this year. Very good for them this year. So, give Lonnie Walker some credit. He continues to improve. He continues to play well. He's still very one-dimensional. But, he could build a career being that, just go-to scorer off the bench. Genuinely. And he could end up making some money doing that. Right? I could see a team, if he is willing to kind of embrace that Malik Monk type role, I could see Lonnie Walker. I don't think he'll be a $20 million a year guy, but I could see a team giving him, $12 million a year or something like that to just be a 6-man type guy or just be a vacuum scorer. Plus he's shooting the lights out this season. He's shooting 45%, I think, from 3-point range, something like that. He's shooting incredible. So, wouldn't surprise me. But Bobby, again, really appreciate you. Andrew, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Suns got Beal on a $50 million deal, $8 million more than Zach. Beal comes off a major injury and is not nearly as good of a fit as Suns. All in. No, and I completely get that. But also the Suns' problem, as a big problem, has been because Bradley Beal keeps getting hurt, right? A lot of the reason that the Phoenix Suns are in a very similar position to us is because of Bradley Beal missing half the season because of injury. Now, look, Bradley Beal's been way more injury prone than Zach LaVine, and I do think when Zach LaVine plays, the Lakers are probably terrified. I'm all for getting Zach LaVine. I would, if I had my way, I would trade for Zach LaVine tomorrow. I know some people disagree. I just think he solves a lot of your problems, and you can still go get DeJounte Murray or whoever else you want to get, right? So my thing is that we need that guy. We need a Zach LaVine, athletic, get to the basket. He's also embraced being a playmaker. For Chicago, he's running point guard for Chicago, setting guys up, being the initiator, dropping dimes, getting assists, right? Playing more off ball. He's playing exactly how we need him to play with the Lakers. The only difference is that the Lakers would be willing to let him just go score more, right? Because the problem is Kobe White is basically tunnel vision and doesn't pass the ball. Although don't get me wrong, he's been very good for them, but he's not a guy. He's a guy that's looking for his bucket. DeMar DeRozan, he likes to go get his bucket. So Zach LaVine's kind of the fourth guy, where I think on the Lakers he would be, hey, go get us 30, right? Go get us 30 again, and I think he could do it. So look, I'm all for getting Zach LaVine. Get Zach LaVine, make it happen. Go get Zach LaVine and DeJounte Murray. I don't care, whatever it is. Lakers need to get – my point is Lakers need to get something done. and they need to get it done now, right? Rather than like waiting another 3 weeks or whatever. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. D'Lo shouldn't be traded. Our transition defense is awful. That's where most of his came from. He did his part tonight. Yeah, D'Lo's been fine. Ship AR out of here. Doc Rivers for him. Nah, stay away from Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is going to go down as more for his losses than he is for winning one championship with a team that I probably could have coached and won with. This loss hurt. I feel it. I swear, bro. Yeah. Front office is a joke. I think the front office is fine. Coaching hire is frustrating, but Rob Pelinka, I trust Rob Pelinka to turn water into wine. Problem is that can he get it done sooner rather than later? That's the concern. Can he get it done sooner rather than later? D'Lo is not the guy to trade. Again, if you get DeJounte Murray, I think you have to trade him. But outside of that, yeah. Lonnie Walker was having fun with Reeves. He was looking revenge, JFX. Not even having Murray would get this team up to level Boston, Denver. We are below average team. Yeah, you got to get several pieces. And look, I've said, even if you just get Zach LaVine, even if you just get DeJounte Murray, the Lakers need more, right? Like, as much as I am higher on Zach LaVine over DeJounte Murray, just fit and need and stuff, my problem is that, like, Lakers have to get other things, right? Whether it's another deal or it's, you're getting Caruso and Drummond and Craig or whatever, right? The Lakers have to get more than just one guy. Lakers get one guy, I don't think it's enough. But now, if you could get, 3, 4 guys, I think you could really turn this around. Again, don't underestimate the value of a quality trade. I don't think LeBron's starting to show his age. I think LeBron's fine. I just think he was frustrated tonight. Wasn't getting calls. Sold a little bit. Reeves, Vincent, and Rui need to be traded for some perimeter defense. I would like that. Just fell out of the 10th spot. Yeah. Their perimeter defense so bad. Yep. Fraudulent team. Agreed. Let's see. Ham thinks this player knows how to win. This team is so undisciplined, bro. Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, you can make the argument they are disciplined because they're doing exactly what Darvin Ham wants on the defense side. The problem is the defense scheme doesn't work. Not in today's NBA. Too many good shooting teams. He's got to change up the defense scheme. Andrew, coming out with the $5 super chat. Buying Zach for pennies on the dollar, all-time low, is now you make legendary turnaround championship. This is a risk we have to take. LaVine season. Look, I'm all for it. Let's get it. I hope the Lakers go, especially like Zach LaVine. They need to get him off. He keeps getting hurt. Right? Again, you could probably get him cheap. Probably get him without having to give up any assets, right? Just basically match salaries, and I think you'd be good. I don't know if the Lakers will do it. If I'm being honest, I don't. Do I want them to do it? Yes. Right? He rolled his ankle. People roll their ankle. LeBron rolls his ankle every other game. LeBron's just built like a tank. Right? It's a big difference. But, and again, how much of it is just precaution? You don't want LaVine to play, right? Where if he was like with the Lakers right now, he'd probably play through it. But with the Bulls, it's like, we don't need him. We want to get rid of him. Last thing we want him to do is like break the ankle or something. And now it's that. But the concern is that like this is now twice in the month in which he's had an injury, and it's both been like ankle and foot related. So that could be a concern. And I just think the Lakers, they're not going to want to take the risk is my problem. Because I think they're going to look at it as like we're already taking a risk on taking on his contract. And if it doesn't work, and then on top of that, we're taking on the risk that he can stay healthy the rest of the season when he keeps getting hurt this season, right? If he was healthy this season, I think the Lakers would do it. I think they may already have done it, but I think they're looking at it as like, I think they're trying to monitor, like, can this guy stay healthy? And I just don't think he's done it well enough this year. And again, like, I'm not like super concerned about his injuries, but I think the Lakers will be. I do. If I'm being honest, I think they should go get Zach LaVine, go get DeJounte Murray, go Go build that super team and live with the result. I just don't think the Lakers are actually going to do that. No trade will help this trash. Start with him being a horrible coach. That won't call time out. I hope we lose the next game too. Look like Lakers want. That way they play. Yeah, Lakers are. They've been rough. They've been rough to say the least. This team looks out of shape and disinterested here. It's time. Oh, come on. There we go. It's time for the next chapter. Gotta figure out what the next chapter is, right? Can't have that much of a difference in halves. Come out incredibly flat. Yeah, I mean it was night and day. There was two different teams entirely, and that's the problem. I mean the Lakers completely dominated the first half, and they were only up like 5 or something at halftime. Like you saw it coming, right? You just saw it coming. When Reeves has to guard, he don't perform. You have you guys seen it? Yeah, he couldn't defend me right now. The guy he just can't defend. Which is great. I mean, he was at least serviceable last season. He's not even serviceable this season. Gregory, I'm right there with you. I don't even know if LaVine is enough by himself. I don't think so. Lakers need several pieces, but I think he'd be a huge step in the right direction. Chill out on Prince. He's been consistent. Exactly. He's been one of our better players all season long. He's had games here and there, but everyone has games here and there. For the most part, the guy's been basically a lock to give you 3 to 4 threes a game. Ham act like he got us to the Western Conference Finals last year. Dennis Smith Jr., great defender, solid playmaker, great hustle, can make shots, athletic, go get him. And he'd be dirt cheap. Let's see. Reeves has statistically been better this year. At what? Because his three-point shooting has been way worse this year. His point total and his usage rate has gone up by comparison this year. But his three-point shooting has gone down basically 11% from last season, 10% from last season. His defense has gone down 10% since last season. What has he been statistically better at this year? Beno hitting threes. Yep. Gotta like that. I take him as our backup any day. Reeves got to go. I think so too. I think you trade him. Yeah, untouchable. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't. Let's see. I fell asleep at halftime with us up 68-62. Woke up late third, and I was down 10. I went right back to sleep. Good choice. Good decision. As a diehard Bron fan, he was so bad tonight. Please don't let the numbers mislead y'all at all. Yeah, no, he definitely had his roughness. Get Bogdan. If that's our last resort, I don't hate it, but I think there's better options out there. I'm loving AD play this season. Of course, he's not going to play every game perfect, but this is what I like to see. Anthony Davis has been incredible this season. He's been ridiculous this season. Only 3 points the second half. Yeah, when you're not getting the ball and not allowed to shoot, yeah, that's what happened. Lakers trade away shooters. Caruso, Beasley, KCP. Beasley was not a shoot. I could outshoot Beasley the way he was playing with the Lakers. Now he goes to the Milwaukee Bucks, and the best 3-point shooter in the league this year. We trash, yeah, fact. Need means period. I swear the Atlanta trade goes down. I will literally be so mad. A lateral move. Literally LaVine, dog. I would like LaVine. Why did we let go of Lonnie Walker? He can shoot and score. I don't get it. Because the problem is he very one-dimensional. He'd be nice as a vacuum scorer, but he can disappear a lot. And the idea was we have all the size. again, in the offseason, this roster looked fine. Let's see. Reeves and Rui should not be seen as a gem. Yeah, agreed. All you do is talk trades, break the game down, get here early. When I spend the first 10 minutes literally doing that. So, it's not my fault you came an hour into the live stream and now you're like, oh, talk about other things. Talking about what the chat wants to. Get here as soon as the live stream starts. And you'll hear me spend the first 10 minutes like I do every time, breaking down my opinions, my thoughts on the game. Let's see. Wood is made of tissue. This loss is so frustrating. Agreed. Very frustrating. Blaming the loss on Reeves is not a good thing. I'm not blaming this solely on Reeves. I'm just saying Reeves should not be untradeable. He's not been very good. You don't lose a game on just one player. When do you ever hear me say like, oh, we lost the game because of one guy? Usually I'm like, it's multiple guys. I might highlight somebody because they're frustrating, but up 10 and stop them on every play equal zone. They need Bogdanovich. I wouldn't mind Bogdanovich. Reeves is having a bad year. Might have to go. I think so. Rui is a good player, but clearly does not fit on this team. 3-and-D guys who we actually guard, 2 guard, 3 guard that can shoot threes is what we need. Torian don't have to play 30 minutes. Yes, agreed. I think the Lakers definitely need to go get Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith. I would be all for that. Give me 2 legit 3-and-D guys. Let's get to work. They weren't guarding the 3-point line again. Yep. That's the defense scheme this year. Nets played good defense on Reeves. Reeves showed his weaknesses. Maybe Plinko will change his mind. Again, I mean, we don't know for certain. Again, for all we know, it could be a selling point. Again, everything's just rumor right now. So like I always say, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that they are going to trade him, but again, we don't know for certain. It's not like Rob Pelinka had a press conference and was like, I'm not trading Austin Reeves this year. If Reeves gets traded to a poverty franchise, he's going to turn into another Kuzma. I mean, Kuzma is not great. Like, he's good, he's solid, but he's so good he's leading a team to 7 wins. So, Lakers can't consistently win games. They revert back to old bad habits. Yep, which is why I was saying I can't get behind this team. I just can't. Let's see. The Lakers didn't learn their lesson trying to keep THT. Yeah, they should have sold him when he was high. His value was super high. Lakers almost traded him the year before they were supposed to get Cam Reddish, and I think it was like Gary Trent or whatever. Like they were doing a 3-team deal, and because Toronto really wanted THT. And then the Knicks got greedy. So it ended up falling through. Ham is not 99%. He's definitely part of the problem, but he's not the sole problem. Lakers are not showing up regularly. Like players still play the games. Players still have to show up with effort, still have to hit shots, still have to not turn the ball over, still have to play defense, stop getting beat every possession. Yes, he should go, but it's still only his 3rd season in a different role than previous years, etc. Can't expect him to be perfect. Yeah. Look, he might go on the right. He gets traded to the right team. He could end up, maybe he's an all-star, right? Maybe he's everything we want him to be. And again, if the Lakers weren't in win now mode, I would say keep Reeves. But the Lakers aren't. They're in, we need to go try to win a championship for LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And Reeves is your best asset to do that. So trade him. Murray, Capella, and Bogdanovich, I would be all for that. Beat the number 2 seed. We did. D'Lo was awful for weeks. What are you talking about? He was not awful for weeks. D'Lo's been one of our. He's had bad stretches. Don't get me wrong, but he's been one of our better players all season. Trade Reeves for Gary Trent for my guy Bruce Brown. Tyler, I'm not gonna lie. Dorian Finney-Smith and O'Neal look like garbage. May have to just skip over the trade. I think combined 1-12. I take that as a sign. Don't forget how to shoot if they traded the Lakers. Yeah, but they've been good all season. And also, it's easier when you're alongside a guy like a LeBron James, playmakers. Like, who's the playmaker on the Nets? They're shooting like 44% this season or whatever. And they have like zero playmaking, like real playmaking. And they're shooting great. Imagine how they'd shoot next to us. Now, there is always the concern of like, Lakers get a player and they're terrible. That is definitely a possibility. But they're good defensively, and their entire career have built on hitting threes. I like the idea of getting them. Again, I don't like them over some of the other pieces, or more impact guys. But like if worst case scenario, you got like Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and like a backup center or something, I'd be happy with that. Again, if that was absolutely worst case scenario. Let's see. Sorry, trying to get through all like the Laker trash comments. If we trade Reeves and we instantly become a contender, then I'll give you the worst shipping you need, and we'll all applaud you. Time will tell. Except for Bron and AD, are these other Laker players, making the team lose on purpose? Why help your team win if they have your name in trade talks? I mean, you still are playing for a contract. You're still playing for your money. You're still doing a lot of things, right? Like, look at D'Lo's the one that's in all the trade talks, not anyone else. And D'Lo's been our best player, right? So I don't think it's that. And they were doing it before the trade talks, right? Like the Lakers, it's not like this just started to happen. It's not like this just became a thing. It's not like the Lakers just, the last month have been terrible. It's been the entire season they've been this way, right? They've been inconsistent all season long. And the one guy that is expected to get traded and moved out has played the best, right? As far as Austin Reeves believes, he's untouchable, right? Where's he been? Rui Hachimura believes he's untouchable. Where's he been? Right? The one guy that's supposed to be traded has been the one guy that's there, so let's see. Tyus and LaVine shouldn't even be in the same conversation. They are two different players for two different roles. Yes. I don't understand the Tyus Jones and Sexton thing. I really don't. If you need like backup, I mean, not playmaking, because Sexton's a terrible playmaker, but like Tyus Jones makes sense. Like if you need like a secondary playmaker, or like let's say the Lakers went and traded for LaVine and they can't get DeJounte Murray, but you could get Tyus, like then that makes sense. It's like, okay, Tyus, LaVine, you got Vando, LeBron, AD, right? Okay, I can kind of understand that because you're like, okay, we need a playmaker, but you're not trading D'Lo for Sexton or Tyus. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see. They should get Bogdanovich. He would help the Lakers. He would be great, but he's not worth the asking price for Detroit right now, unless they come down on the price. But they want like 2 firsts for him. The Lakers don't even have 2 firsts. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Some fans want Reeves to stay. No defense at all. I mean, I understand why people want Reeves. They're holding on to what he did last year, right? But again, we have as much of a sample size this year as we do last year now of him being this way, So is he as bad as he's been this season? Probably not. I mean, you can make an argument he's not. Is he as good as he was last season? Probably not. You can make an argument not. He's probably somewhere in the middle, right? Which is basically an average role player. I like what you're saying, but I kind of want to keep D'Lo. Look, I would love to keep D'Lo, but again, if you go trade for Murray, then I just think that you're in a spot where you have no choice, right? I mean, well, you have a choice. You don't have to trade him, but I just think he's best in the point guard position. But so is Murray. So you have two guys. Basically, their best position is point guard, right? And if you go and put D'Lo on the bench or something like that to be the sixth man, he's leaving you in the offseason. So, especially the way he's playing right now. Let's see. I don't care who it takes. It's time to form a big three with LaVine, Bron, and AD. I am all with that. I am with that. I would keep D'Lo, trade Reeves. He has been inconsistent for me. I am with you. Ham, gotta go. Bron, gotta play D. Vando, gotta start. TP needs less minutes. I am with all of that. Problem is, they're not going to trade the coach this year. They're just not. As much as I would love it, as much as many people would love it, they're not going to do it. Let's see. AR simply cannot do this in the playoffs, bro. Like 0-6 from 3, really. The sad part is that easily could have been D'Lo. A LaVine off night would at least be something. An AR D'Lo off night is nothing. That's kind of been one of my big arguments. Is like, even if LaVine has a bad night, he at least gives you 15 on a bad night, right? Like if they have a bad night, they're basically unplayable. They made 19 threes. It's been our Achilles heel. They want to the analytics didn't close out. Now they got smoked again. Yeah, that's the problem. Is like we just keep getting smacked. Again, like I mentioned when I first started the live stream, like the problem isn't that it's not that we're losing. It's that every time we lose, we get blown out, right? Like the games aren't even close, and that's a real problem. So that's where my concern lies. You still want Dorian Finney-Smith? I would still be all for Dorian Finney-Smith. I like Dorian Finney-Smith. Right? Guys have bad games. Guys have bad nights. He has been consistent all season. He's looked really good all season. So I would be all for going and getting Dorian Finney-Smith personally. Capella and Murray make more sense. Let's forget about Dorian Finney-Smith and let Caruso somehow. I would love Alex Caruso. Let's see. Trade Reeves for Murray, Capella, and go get Bruce Brown. I'd personally stay away from Bruce Brown. He's just making too much money. He's making like what 22 million this year. Let's see. Reeves had his insanity run, came back down to earth. Now I guess it's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, it's a good example. Torrey Craig wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind Torrey Craig. Isn't he still out for like another 2 weeks, something like that? If I'm not mistaken. Get Drummond. I wouldn't mind Drummond. The truth could never be a diss. It is what it is with Reeves. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we have enough. Like, it's not like he's on just a bad stretch. We have enough games this season to see, and enough of a sample size to show that that's just who he is this year. Maybe next year he gets back. Maybe he's 40% from three and just incredible and gets back to the guy we need to be. But we don't know that, right? And people think Austin Reeves is going to show up in the playoffs. We don't know that. Look at last season, he was great and had all this momentum going into the playoffs, right? You look at this season, and he doesn't have it. He's been bad all season. Who's to say that he's gonna pick it up going into the play? We only have last year's run to compare it to, and he had all this momentum. There was no tape on him. Teams weren't orchestrating it and circling him on the whiteboard, right? He was just on a run. right? So how do we know Austin Reeves is going to be huge for us in the playoffs? How do we know Austin Reeves doesn't play the same way he's playing right now in the playoffs? We don't. We have no idea. We have one run. We have one sample size. So I don't know. It's not like he's been proven for 5. Like, oh man, the Lakers have been to the playoffs 5 years in a row, and every year Austin Reeves just takes his game up a notch. We don't. We know Austin Reeves was really good last year, had a ton of momentum going into the playoffs, ended up having just teams not even thinking about him, and he had a great playoff line, right? Also, I think about moving Rui. I think so too. Let's see. They should sign Biombo. Wood can't protect the paint when AD is resting. Yeah, I mean, look, Wood's been pretty solid for us. I mean, he was terrible today, but he's not. He's a power forward. He's not a center. My problem with getting Biombo is that he's just undersized. He's not like he's 6'8". I know he has like a 7'6" wingspan or something insane like that, but my concern is that like we need a real center. Let's see. Send Vincent in a second to the Raptors for Bruce Brown. Problem is Vincent's making like half of what Bruce Brown's making. Bruce Brown was going to sign with the Lakers until he got that insane contract, which good for him. He got his bag. Let's see. Him talking about Cam Thomas came out. Hot man. Lakers, everyone's going to Steph Curry do your job. I mean, yeah. Keep Gabe. Problem is that he hasn't played all year, right? Like, and the hope is that maybe he comes back and is good, but he hasn't been good. Like Gabe Vincent doesn't have like a history of being good in the regular season. He has a history of being like good in the playoffs, picking it up in the playoffs. But let's see. Now Gabe can go. Great. I would trade Gabe too. I feel it, Cosman. I'm right there with him. Let's see. This team is completely embarrassing. I lost to a bad Nets team. Yep, it's frustrating. DeJounte Murray would not be good fit. That's a bit of a concern that I have too. If LeBron continues to play off ball, it could. Need an intervention before implosion. I still don't know what it is. Hoover in the front office wants to keep Reeves. I don't know. You guess excuse my. There's reports that they don't want to trade him, which is probably Genie and Rob Pelinka. But again, like I said, it could just be. It's very likely it could just be a leverage play, right? Like if you're just like, oh yeah, like we want to trade, like we want to get rid of Reeves, right? Like what does that do? Makes teams go, okay, well we're not going to sell the farm for him. But if you keep up that, like, no, we're not trading Reeves under any circumstances, right? You may get a team to, maybe you get Atlanta to kind of cave a little bit, right? Tyus is the older brother, right? Yes. We would be the worst season ever if Portland beats us. I mean, at this rate, nobody is off the table. How do we lose to the Nets? Playing bad basketball. Bruce Brown makes $20 million, yeah, which is my problem. Like if you're gonna overpay for anybody, go overpay for Zach LaVine. So Tyler, if we get Murray, who else are we getting, or who are better fits for the Lakers? See, that's the problem. Is like, what else can you get? What else do you get? I was mentioning earlier, like personally, if I had to guess, I think the Lakers end up not just getting Murray. I think they get Murray and several other pieces. Is it all with Atlanta? Is it various other trades, right? Like, if they trade D'Lo, do they ultimately trade Reeves? I hope it's not just going and trading for DeJounte Murray and that's it. Because if they do that, then I don't think that makes us that much better. I hope I'm wrong, look, maybe if DeJounte Murray gets back to being Spurs DeJounte Murray and is a legit two-way, all-defensive point guard, can give you, 25, 6 and 9, and shoot 38% from three, then yeah, maybe the Lakers could turn it around, right? I have concerns because his problem is playing off ball. His career is 34% three-point shooter. There's just a lot of concerns that I have. I'm not giving AR and a first for DeJounte personally. But all right, here, I'm gonna power through a couple more sections here, and then I'm gonna skate on out of here so I can start setting up videos for tomorrow because it's late. So let me power through some of these. Obviously, any super chats I'll prioritize, but outside of that, I'm just gonna go through here. Need to fire everyone. Keep AD. Yeah, anybody not named LeBron and AD, you trade. Came out and said Rui untouchable, dude, can't make shots. Yeah. Look, I like Rui. I like D'Lo. If we were rebuilding, keep him, but we're not. Crazy how forget what Reeves did for us in the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell by himself essentially saved the Memphis Grizzlies series. Austin Reeves, the first 3 games of the Golden State series was terrible, and D'Lo wasn't. Let's not pretend like Austin Reeves was the only good player the entire playoffs. He was excellent in that. He was the only guy that showed up in that Denver series. I'll give him that. But again, we don't know what he is. Lynn Sanity went on a crazy run, and he can't even get a position on any team in the league. We have seen plenty of players in the history of this game. Who is it? Michael Carter-Williams or whatever? Won like Rookie of the Year, was averaging nearly a triple-double, looked like the best. Where is he at? Right? Let's not pretend like we've never seen an Austin Reeves run before. Let's not pretend like we've never seen a player have an excellent half a season and a playoff run and completely disappear. Right? Plenty of players have done that. It happens. There are plenty of guys that have had great moments, great stretches, great everything, right? And look, it's the NBA. It's a professional sport. It's what have you done for me lately? I don't care what you did. I made the argument about DeJounte Murray, right? I don't care that he was a Defensive Player of the Year 4 years ago. What is he doing now, right? I don't care what people did last year, the year before, 2 years ago. What is Austin Reeves right now? Are we still in last year? Or are we in this year? Because if we're in this year, why do we care what Austin Reeves did last year? We don't know if he's going to replicate that. We don't know if that's who he is. What we do know is he had an incredible run that had a bunch of momentum built behind it. And on top of the momentum built behind it, you didn't have any team scouting him. You didn't have any tape on him, really heavy tape. You had no past history to judge him on. You had nothing. You have a great run. Give it to Austin Reeves. That was absolutely incredible. I hyped Austin Reeves up like he was Michael Jordan this offseason. And guess what? I was wrong. He's proven me wrong. He is who he is this season. Maybe next year he gets back to being the Austin Reeves, and maybe he wins the MVP next year. Who knows? We don't know what he's going to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, right? The only thing we know is what he is right now. And right now, he has not been good. He has not been a good, consistent basketball player. Everyone loves Reeves because he makes tough buckets, man. I'll get that boy out of here. Not trying to start anything. I'm just tired of the Reeves untouchable BS. No, I get you. You're fine, Christian. I appreciate your chat. And I get it. I get the whole thing about that. I was losing my mind in the fourth quarter. I feel it. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Lakers are the type to have the worst strength of schedule and have a winning record, and have the best strength of schedule and have a losing record right now. Yeah. Problem is, the next after you get through this month and then like half of next month, it just Lakers might not even be a play-in game. Let's see. What else? What's the best way to get back at a team that wants to trade you by not helping them win? That's Lakers bench, except for Bron and AD. But again, this didn't just start happening. This has been an entire season of this. And the one guy that is on the trade block right now has been our best player. So this whole narrative is just inaccurate. Because literally, the only guy that believes he is getting traded has literally been our best player. What's going on? Appreciate you being here, Mark. Yeah, we definitely could use some athleticism. I am with you. One step forward, 2 steps back when you shake things up already. I am with you. Let's see. Let's see. Now the Nets can keep them after tonight game. They was trash. Again, I'm not going to hold one game to somebody. They've been really good all season. Again, watch some of the Nets games. And again, they don't have a playmaker. Like Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal have to create all their own shots, right? Or they're just like getting kickouts. My God, no. How many one-way players do we need at 222 million? Yeah, I would stay away from DeJounte, or not DeJounte Murray. Bruce Brown also, personally. Make the LaVine Caruso trade. I am with you. I would be all for it. Hey, Tyler, I'm laughing because the Lakers think Austin Reeves is the next superstar like SJ because he's untouchably dumb. How much do we know he's truly untouchable, right? Again, like I said, it could just be smokescreen. It could just be to try to raise his value. You know, people want what they can't have, right? So, yeah, you have this selling point of like, we're not trading him, right? And maybe it gets it. Maybe it gets people to, okay, well, what else do you want? What do we need to do? You know, all of a sudden you get Atlanta to, you know, what do we need to do to get to land Austin Reeves? And now you got him, right? I'm not a Murray fan at all. I don't really like his game, but at this point, it couldn't hurt. Just get a Murray, right? At this point, just get somebody, right? Shake it up. I'm out. See you next loss. I feel it. Appreciate you being here, though. How bad is Austin Reeves' endurance? Does he spend any time in the gym? Doesn't look like it. I mean, he's played a lot of basketball. It's very possible it's just tired legs, right? In his defense, I mean, he did play all, an entire playoffs up to the conference finals and then immediately went Team USA and then immediately jumped into preseason and regular season. So, but whatever it is, if the Lakers want to turn this year around, you got to trade Austin Reeves. What I was thinking is, what if Pascal gets signed and traded to the Clippers for Paul George if the Clippers fall apart? Because I don't think Pascal's staying in Indiana. I imagine that Indiana got confirmation because I don't think that they would have traded 3 first-round picks unless they got confirmation he would stay. And I don't know if they'd trade. Like, I think they could work it out to get enough money to sign Paul George in the offseason. Or work out a sign and trade for him, especially if he wants to leave. I know that they have depending on Siakam's contract, they might not. Because I haven't looked at their numbers since, but I know that they had like a bunch of cap space going into the season. But now they got Siakam, so it's possible not. They're probably doubling down on the Atlanta trade now. Yeah, seriously. Problem is Atlanta doesn't if you're Atlanta, you don't have to rush to make a trade, which is the problem. Like Atlanta is okay with being bad or being pedestrian, right? And they probably hope it's in their best interest to wait, which is the problem. I still prefer the Bulls trade, but I don't see them pressed to do it anymore. Agreed. Um, I just, yeah, I don't, I just, I'm not sold on the Lakers doing it anymore. Um, Murray is fool's gold. He won't be able to sustain this. When he was in San Antonio, he could not carry that team to a successful record. Didn't they make the playoffs where he was like the only star? And like he wasn't even supposed, like that team was awful except for him. He made an all-star team, all defensive team. Look, I'm not saying he hasn't been that guy still, but DeJounte Murray is not worse than Austin Reeves. I can tell you that. um, let's see. Let's talk about Reeves' endurance. There's no way he put time in the gym. Horrible composition. Jeremy Grant, Malcolm Brogdon. Jeremy Grant said publicly he's happy to be that he wants to stay with Portland. He's happy there, and he's also heavily overpaid. If you're going to trade for two guys that are overpaid, and one of which is one of the most injury-prone players in the league, in Malcolm Brogdon, although both guys are good when they play, I mean, you might as well just go get Zach LaVine. Sadiq Bey has no value, isn't an upgrade. That's why, as I mentioned, it's not you're not looking to trade him as an upgrade. You're looking to trade him as like an extra piece, right? He's the add-on. He's the like, oh hey, here, take this too. He's the when you go buy something and they get like, hey, you get a free cookie with your purchase. That's what Sadiq Bey would be, right? Here's a free cookie with your purchase. I wouldn't want him to be part like a centerpiece of the trade. Like you're not going to sell me on Sadiq Bey, but again, if he's just like, oh, here's what, like we'll throw in Sadiq Bey into the deal because we're going to lose him for nothing, right? Do it. Torrey Craig, 30% from three this year and 38% from three in the playoffs. Yeah, and he's a veteran, been there, done that. He'd be a solid guy. Trade Reeves. Is this y'all untouchable dude balling? -13. Ham has to go, which, again, not happening this season. Vanderbilt has to start, more Rui and less Prince. I never said this before, but trade LeBron. He total mental. No show 4 out of 5 games. Tyler, the DeJounte Murray and D'Lo backcourt sounds good to me, but not great. I mean, yeah, I definitely have my concerns about it. That's why I believe like if you trade for DeJounte Murray, you gotta trade D'Lo. You gotta trade D'Lo. Let's see. There isn't anything wrong with having 2 ball handlers, but at times guys are gonna have to play out ball. Please get DeJounte Murray and Zach LaVine. I would be all for that. All right. Let's do this last row right here, and then I'm gonna skate on out of here. Come on. Sorry. Here we go. All right. D'Lo said he's not a point guard; he's a basketball player, so he thrives in whatever role and position. Which is why I think you could give them a chance. But D'Lo is best with the ball in his hand. You can play D'Lo and Murray together. You need players who can play for one another instead of just putting the ball in one person's hands. Bulls trade or Atlanta trade. Make it happen. Andrew J. Tyler, see you Sunday. See you later, LeCap. Appreciate you. Can we get Murray and LaVine? Technically, yes, we can. Will we? Probably not. I think it's very unlikely. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love it. But if I had to guess, probably not both of them. We can get LaVine, Caruso, Drummond on the low end because we need to get off of LaVine's contract, and they would be contract for 3 years. Yeah. Hey, if you could do it, let's do it. I would love it. They get up for certain games. This is inexcusable. Take all the games seriously. I'm right there with you, Sammy. It is incredibly frustrating watching the Lakers perform this way. It's inexcusable. Y'all always trading away y'all depth. What depth? What chemistry? The Lakers are below 500 and we're over halfway through the season. There is no depth. There is no chemistry. This is a bad basketball team. If the Lakers were like the 3 seed, then it'd be like, yeah, why would you make a trade? But right now, it's like, what depth? The Lakers bench got outscored, what, like 57-18 or something insane like that? What depth? Explain to me where the depth is. Do you really have depth and chemistry when you're a game under 500 past the midway point? No, you're a bad basketball team. That's what that is. You're a bad basketball team. The Lakers are a bad basketball team. Lakers can't tank. They got the Pelicans own their pick. If Lakers tank, their pick just goes right to New Orleans. Let's see. Let's get a couple more here if I can find some. I'd stay away from Bruce Brown. He's making too much money. I'd rather keep D'Lo. I feel it. Lakers lost. It sucks. It sucks. It is not fun when the Lakers lose. Let's see. Zach is hurt again. He's out for another week. Yep. Which is not good. Make a trade, fire him, do something. Yeah, they got to do something. Exactly. Do something. At this point, do something. At least attempt. Yeah, good point. Matchup dependent. Bronny don't have enough experience, but is enough to lower LeBron with which team you see LeBron on next year. Because if the Cavs and Heat draft Bronny, they win in a chip. I mean, Bronny very likely might go to a potential contending team. Problem is, those teams have to have salary to sign LeBron. LeBron's not going to go sign with the Cavs for a vet minimum just to play with the Sun. Maybe he does something like that before the year ends. I don't know. It's too early to tell because one, you need to see where how Bronny finishes the season, and then also what teams kind of fall. Because he's not going to be a top 10 pick or anything. Right? He'll probably be somewhere in the 20s. Maybe a team, is hey, we have the 17th pick, so let's just take Bronny and maybe LeBron comes, right? But at least the top 15 are probably going to get taken serious, right? Where I could see past that, I think it's anyone's guess. So, but it's just too early because you're going to have teams that are going to be tanking. You're going to have teams that may turn it around and make a push. You have all the trades. Ask me that in a month, and I'd probably have a better answer. It's crazy. I said that D'Lo should be the one to stay over Austin and Rui, and people said that. Now everybody sees why D'Lo way more valuable than him. Hey, should have came around here. I've made entire videos about that. But anyway, I'm gonna skate on out of here. It's getting late, and I need to. I need to set up for tomorrow. Start getting things done, and I don't want to be up till 5 in the morning. So I appreciate you guys. It sucks that we took this L. It really does. It's frustrating. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Appreciate everyone just coming over. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're not liked, hit that like button. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, I really do appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. I really genuinely appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys, Sunday? Right? In the next game. So, yeah, see you Sunday. Hopefully we get the win. Hopefully we